Welcome to This Day in Baseball. We bring you everything from the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat and every milestone and oddball event in between. Today's game is courtesy of thisdayinbaseball.com. You can come for a peek, make friends for a lifetime. Before, after, and during the game, check out the links below the video and visit the player pages, parks, and teams as you listen to this blast from the past. You can catch us on every social media platform, and I want to do a special thanks to MLB Classic Radio Archives for this broadcast. Now, let's play ball.
Well, for this very important contest out here this afternoon at Dodger Stadium, the lineup for the visiting Giants, leading off and playing at second base, will be Chuck Hiller. Chuck Hiller batting in the number 1 spot and playing at second base. Jimmy Davenport batting number 2, playing at third base. Willie Mays in center field, batting number 3. Willie McCormick in left field, hitting in the 4th position. Orlando Cepeda, batting number 5, playing at first base. Felipe Alou in right field. He is hitting number 6. Tom Haller doing the catching, batting 7th. Jose Pagan batting 8th and playing shortstop. And Jack Sanford will be doing the pitching. So that's the starting lineup for the Jack Sanford will be the starting pitcher. 24-7. Jack has won 2 and lost 1 with the Dodgers this season. It's 14-7 on his lifetime. And this will be his 5th start against Los Angeles this year. He's 1-1 in Dodger Stadium. He lost to them May 22nd, 5-1. Beat them once in Candlestick Park, 10-3 on July 7th. Here on September 3rd, 7-3, and that was his 20th win. His last start, he beat Houston 11-5. That was the 29th of September. He went 5 1/3 innings, giving up 5 runs on 8 hits. He walked 5. For the first time, failed to strike out a batter. Won more games than any Giant pitcher since Carl Hubbell won 26 back in 1936. And he can't equal that mark, but he can come close to it with the victory out here today as he is 24-7. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, leading off and playing shortstop, Maury Wills. Jim Gilliam is batting in the number 2 position, playing second base. Duke Snyder in left field, batting number 3. Tommy Davis playing third base and hitting in the number 4 spot. Wally Moon is playing at first base, batting 5th. Frank Howard hitting number 6 and playing in right field. John Roseborough doing the catching and batting 7th. And playing in center field, hitting number 8, is Willie Davis. Pitching and batting 9th, Don Drysdale. So Drysdale with a 25-9 record. Has a 3-1 record against the Giants this year. He's 20-14 lifetime against them. More lifetime wins against the Giants than against any other National League club. Has 2 complete games and 5 starts versus the Giants. A 1-0 record in 2 starts versus the Giants here. That was an 11-1 victory. This is his first start against Jack Sanford for the first time that the 2 hard-throwing right-handers oppose each other. The umpires for today's game talking now with Duke Snyder and Whitey Lockman at home plate. It'll be Al Barlick behind the plate, Dusty Bodges at first base, Augie Donatelli at second, and Jocko Conlon at third. Giants on the regular season won 3 and lost 6 against the Dodgers here at Dodger Stadium. The 3 they won came in the final 4-game series with the Dodgers when they took 3 out of 4 and got right back into the pennant race. Giants now with a record of 102 wins, 61 losses. The Dodgers 101 wins and 62 losses. Giants out in front of the Dodgers for the first time since, I can't remember when, back in early July sometime when the Dodgers took over first place. And the Giants yesterday, by virtue of their win, moved out in front for the first time. So the Giants hoping to wrap it up in this second game. The Dodgers wanting to hang on with grim determination and run it to the final day. As manager Walt Olson said, the only way that we can win it now is to go on a 2-game winning streak. The Giants trying to prevent that today, battling one of their old nemesis, Don Drysdale, and Jack Sanford having his greatest season, the man that manager Alvin Dark has called on to wrap it up. Jack who won his 20th down here the last time that the Dodgers and Giants met. Had great stuff in that ball game. And if he can bring that back with him today, then the Giants have got a real shot at it. Jack warming up to our right in front of the Giant dugout, Drysdale to our left. Ball game delayed slightly. The umpires now taking their position. And right now, we're going to have the playing of the national anthem. Still completing their warm-ups, not yet ready to go. The Dodgers have not taken the field as yet. Al Barlick behind the plate. Jocko Conlon heads for third base, looks in the Dodger dugout. Augie Donatelli at second. Dusty Bodges at first. And the fans here, sort of hard to tell the crowd. It would say somewhere probably around 25,000. 25 to 30 possibly on hand right now. More people coming in. And a very warm afternoon in Los Angeles as the Dodgers take the field. Defensively in the outfield, Duke Snyder in left. Willie Davis in center, Frank Howard in right. In the infield, Connie Davis at third. Maury Wills at short, Jim Gilliam at second, Wally Moon at first, Donnie Roseboro doing the catching, and Don Drysdale the pitching. Don Drysdale working with 2 days rest, his fourth start in 9 days. And the way he's firing the ball in there doesn't look like it's bothered him too much. For the Giants in the top of the second, McCovey, Cepeda, and Felipe Alou against the offerings of Don Drysdale. Jack Sanford struck out the side in the top half of the first inning. Willie McCovey standing off to the side. McCovey, a fellow who has been known to cause Don Drysdale a little trouble, is up there at the plate. In the first inning, Miller struck out, Davenport fouled out, and Mays flied to the wall in center field. The first pitch is inside to McCovey for ball one. Left-hand batting stretch up here with the outfield deep and around to the right. Drysdale winds again. The next pitch, outside, ball two, a let-up. Drysdale giving McCovey a little bit of an off-speed pitch. 2-0 count to Willie. And Drysdale ready. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, bounded to first base. And Wally Moon fields it. McCovey's out of there. So that's out number one, and Orlando Cepeda will come up. And I imagine that Don Drysdale took a deep stride. Right here, let's pause for station identification. This is the Golden West Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. This is Don Sherwood. If you're a little rusty with your Spanish lessons, listen to me on... KSFO in San Francisco.
Here is Orlando Cepeda waiting, and it's called strike one. Breaking pitch over on the outside. Drysdale is the next one. Swung on a miss, strike 2. 0-2 to Cepeda. Orlando with a batting mark of 307. Had a home run in yesterday's game. And the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off into the upper deck to the right. Count stays at 0-2. Nothing in 2. One down. Base is empty. Top of the second. Giants and Dodgers 0-0. Drysdale goes to the Rosenberg. The outfield's very deep against Cepeda and almost straight away. Drysdale winds, and the next pitch. Line drive, base hit into left center field. Going over for it is Snyder. Cepeda takes the turn and holds on as Snyder fires in. The Giants have their first hit. The ball gets away from second base. Cepeda started to go to second, but when Wally Moon moved over to field it, Orlando came back to first. That'll bring up Felipe Alou. Sitting beside us, St. Louis Cardinal announcer Harry Carey. And Harry, one observation. I don't think I've ever seen two pitchers throw this hard in the same ballgame.
They're both very sharp, and both have real good stuff. This can be a tough ball game for either team to win, Lon.
Don Drysdale now set to pitch to Alou. Felipe up here had a double in the first inning of yesterday's game. Waits for Drysdale's first pitch. Swings, lines a base hit into right center field. That one may go between him. Davis chasing it. It's going to the wall. Cepeda around third. He's coming for the plate. And the relay will not be coming in. Alou has himself a double. The Giants lead it 1-0. Felipe Alou cracked the curving liner into right center field that rolled all the way to the wall at the 390-foot mark. Cepeda digging around the bases. Came in to score. The Giants lead by 1-0, and Tom Haller will be the batter. So Felipe Alou drives in his 98th run of the year. Haller up here, swinging left-handed against the offerings of Drysdale, hitting at .262. 18 home runs. He's had 3 home runs here at Dodger Stadium. Now they're going to throw over to first base, I believe. No, they're going to put Haller on. I thought Drysdale was going to question whether Alou had stepped on first or not, but they're going to walk Tom Haller. Ball 1 outside. There's ball 2. Drysdale pitching from the stretch with Alou at second. Delivers ball 3. And the stretch again. Ball 4. So Haller, given the intentional pass, he goes to first, and Jose Pagan will be the batter. So Jose Pagan, hitting at .253, has driven in 57 runs on the year. Drove in 2 yesterday with the double. The outfield straight away and medium deep. Duke Snyder fairly deep in left for Willie Davis and Frank Howard in center and right, playing quite a bit more shallow. Alou at second, Haller at first. Stretched by Drysdale for the pitch to Pagan. Inside, almost hit him in the knee. Ball 1. One and nothing count to Jose Pagan. Runners at first and second, 1 out. A run in. The Giants lead 1-0 here in the top of inning number 2. Single by Cepeda, double by Alou after 1 was out. Drysdale into his stretch for the pitch to Pagan. Popped up to the infield. Wills calling for it as the infield fly is called, and he makes the catch for out number 2. The runner's holding on. So with 2 down, it'll bring up Jack Sanford. So Jack Sanford comes to the plate with Alou at second, Tom Haller at first, a run in. Sanford looks now at Whitey Lockman, see if anything has been put on. With 2 outs here, he'll be called on probably to swing away. Although, with Tommy Davis playing as deep as he is at third, Jack would have an opportunity to try to drop one down and beat it out. Here's Drysdale's stretch in the pitch, low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield medium deep against Sanford, although Frank Howard is playing pretty shallow in right field for Jack. Sanford gets a hold of an outside fastball. He could put it over Howard's head. There's the stretch and the next pitch. Low, ball 2, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Jack Sanford. 2-0 count, 2 outs. Felipe Alou at second, Tom Haller at first, a run in. Drysdale going to the rosin bag. Jack Sanford calmly waiting at the plate. Runners getting their lead as Drysdale stretches. 2-0 pitch. Slight foul into the stands to the right. That one rebounds all the way back out onto the playing area. Or Dusty Bodgett, the first base umpire, fields it. So the count is 2-1. Sanford took sort of a half swing at an inside fastball. 2-1 count to Jack, batting in the top of the second. The Giants lead 1-0. John Roseborough with a sign. Alou getting his lead at second. Haller from first as Drysdale takes the stretch. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 calls. And it's 2-2. Good fastball at the knees. 2-2 count to Sanford. Time is called now as the baseball is back behind home plate. 2-2 to Sanford. 2 outs. Alou at second. Haller at first. A run in. After McCovey grounded out, Cepeda singled to left center. Alou doubled to right center to score Cepeda. Then Haller was intentionally walked. The Don popped out. 2-2 pitch, foul back by Sanford. And it stays at 2-2. 2-2 count to Jack Sanford. Jack had 3 home runs last year. Got to hit it a first piece if he would have hit one out here. Willie Mays in the first inning gave one a 410-foot ride to the wall in center, and Willie Davis made the catch. Maury Wills now has moved well over by second base, leaving a big gap in the hole to the left. Stretch for the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Sanford pitch. So here in the second, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on. We go to the bottom of the second, and the Giants lead it by a score of 1-0. Just wait till you try your first dual filter Territon. You light up and you know this one's got it. Territon, flavor you never thought you'd get from any filter cigarette. So why be hungry for flavor when all the pleasure you could ask for is waiting for you in your first pack of Territon? In Territon, you get quality tobaccos at their peak. You get the remarkable dual filter with activated charcoal that brings through the best flavor of these choice tobaccos. The result, flavor you never thought you'd get from any filter cigarette. Try Territon. You'll never be hungry for flavor again. Manager Alvin Dark is out to talk to home plate umpire Al Barlick. They're discussing something, not heatedly, but talking the situation over. Dark now trots back to the Giant dugout as Jack Sanford comes out to loosen up. He'll pitch to Wally Moon, Frank Howard, and Johnny Roseborough. The 2 quick shots by the Giants. Cepeda reaching out for an outside pitch. Lined a single into left center, and then Alou cracked one into right center for a double. Who scores Cepeda, and the Giants have a 1-0 advantage as Sanford comes out to pitch the bottom of the second. There's the time out match.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on, and at the end of 5 full innings of play, the San Francisco Giants are leading by a score of 1-0. They will send up Felipe, who has had 2 out of 2, Tom Haller, and Jose Pagan. In the second inning, after McCovey had grounded out, Cepeda singled to left field, and Felipe hit one that he really used the radar on, a beautiful line drive, but just in between Willie Davis and Frank Howard to roll to the wall, and Orlando Cepeda scored. And that's the only scoring the Giants have done, although they've had runners on the bases in every inning but the first inning. Miller was hit by a pitch in the third, and McCovey walked with 2 down, but Cepeda flied out. Then in the fourth, Alou and Pagan singled, but Drysdale struck out Hiller. Then in the fifth, a base on ball from McCovey was the only thing the Giants could do in the attack line. They have had 7 base runners. The Dodgers have had 4, with the Giants leading by a score of 1-0. Felipe Alou ready to come up to swing the bat as we move to the top of inning number 6 with the Giants leading the Dodgers 1-0. Drysdale to the Rosenberg with the outfielders playing Alou straight away. Many of his 25 home runs were hit to straightaway center on the year. Drysdale looks over to Giants right fielder. Into the windup, the pitch to Felipe, a curveball on the inside, a called strike. Tom Haller, who hit one a long way to left field his last time, is in the on-deck circle. One strike to count as Don Drysdale looks over Felipe Alou, delivers again. There's a swing and a foul. The ball dropped by Johnny Roseborough. Strike two. Felipe almost lost his helmet that time. Drysdale to the rosin bag. Alou moving a bit more in toward the plate now on this two-strike count. Holds the bat high. Drysdale throws, and Felipe swings and misses strike two. Number 4 for Drysdale, the giant batter, Tom Haller, who has walked and flied out to left field. One away on the top of the sixth. Here's Drysdale's next pitch now to Haller. A let-up that's over the outside corner for a called strike. One strike to number 5, Haller. Don pumps and throws again. Haller swings and laces a line drive foul down the right field line. Wally Moon at first base charging across the line, but he could not get the glove on the ball. 2 strikes to count to Tom Haller. As Drysdale gets the sign now from John Roseborough. Straight away and deep defense against Haller. The Dodgers have a lot of respect for Tommy. He hurt them with that long ball. Here's the 2-strike pitch. High and inside. Haller had to fade out of there in a hurry. That one was up near Chinsville. And the 1 and 2 pitch for Drysdale on the way. Winds, throws, Haller takes high and away. It's ball 2 and strike 2. Snyder, who caught Haller's long drive in left field, is playing him in the same direction this time. And the center fielder and right fielder, Willie Davis and Frank Howard, are playing him just straight away. And the big boy from the University of Illinois waiting. Drysdale pitch to Haller. A check swing, and it's ball 3 too high. And Drysdale cast an appealing look at Jocko Conlon at third base, hoping he would overrule Al Barlick. Barlick was firm with the fact that it's a ball for 3 and 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The count to Haller has gone to 3 and 2, and the Giants lead 1-0 with the bases empty. There's 1 out. Drysdale looking down the alley now to get the sign from Roseborough. Into his windup. The big fella rears back and throws inside to Haller. And Haller trots to first base with a base on balls. The 4th off Don Drysdale. And Jose Pagan, who has popped to short and singled the deep shortstop, will be up here for the Giants. Pagan at 253 with 57 runs batted in. And one of his 7 home runs was hit here at Dodger Stadium. Hit it way out there between the 390 and the 410 markers in deep left center. Although Jose is the first to admit that the home run ball is not the way he makes his living. He makes it with that fine glove and arm that he has at shortstop. Tom Haller at first with 1 out. Here's Drysdale set. Pagan fouls it off on the hit and run play as Haller was going. Harry, I know that you broadcast a lot of football over around Illinois and Missouri. Did you ever see Tommy play football at Illinois?
No, I didn't. I heard a lot about him. I was doing Missouri University games when he was at the University of Illinois. He's quite a kid. He's had a chance to be one of the outstanding catchers, I guess. Russ, he looks like he's going to be around a long time.
Come a long way this year. The count is strike 1 to Jose Pagan with Tommy Haller at first base and Don Drysdale ready. The next delivery to Jose. Bounded down the third base line. Base hit. Heading toward the left field corner. Snyder is over there to pick it up. Haller comes around to third. Holding at second with a double is Pagan as the throw comes in, and the Giants have runners at second and third. A Jose Pagan bounding one that walked that chalk line down the left field line, and that will bring up Jack Sanford.
You know, that's one of the best kept secrets around the league. I know your San Francisco fans have been well informed. Is your strength in the catching department. Between Haller and Bailey, I guess you must have 35, 36 home runs and 100 RBIs between them.
Well, you hit the home runs right on the nose, 35, Harry. Then Bailey has 44 runs batted in. Haller 56. That's 100. That's true. No matter whom Alvin sits in there, and then on occasions he's put in Tony Orsino, a right-handed batter who can help it. Anytime you get your catching department, you out that much, particularly that long ball hitting, you're in pretty good shape. A conference on the mound. Walter Alston out to talk to Don Drysdale. And Wally Moon came over to get in the conference. Tommy Davis. And the conference is about ready to break up. You know, since the Folgers Coffee Company pays more money for premium mountain-grown coffee beans, you'd think their coffee would be more expensive, but it is not. So in a situation where Alvin Dark can make up his mind two ways, he can have Sanford swing away because he's got the top of the order coming up next with only one out. Or he might elect to have Jack attempt to squeeze bunt. But with the infield playing in the way it is, that's going to be difficult. But we'll see what happens. Sanford has struck out and forced a runner. Haller down the line at third. Pagan from second. Giants lead 1-0. The pitch to Sanford, a low curveball outside for ball one. Now, for the first time today, activity in the Dodger bullpen. We can see Peronowski throwing down there. We can't see the other fellow, but it's more than likely Ed Roebuck. They're way in on the right side of the infield. Maury Wills fairly deep at shortstop. Drysdale ready, throws to Sanford. A slider, good for a foul strike on the inside, and it's 1-1. Sanford is not indicated at any time that he's had the bunt sign. He looks down to Whitey Lockman again. The Giants have had the scoring opportunities today. They've had 4 bases on balls and 5 hits. Dodgers in on the right side of the infield, very shallow. Tommy Davis right at third base with Tom Haller. Don Drysdale ready. Pitch to Sanford, taken outside for ball 2, and again, Jack was going to swing. He did not assume the bunting stance. The squeeze play in baseball can be the most beautiful thing in the world, or you can look so darn silly. It doesn't work. Drysdale from the stretch, not winding up. Throws to Sanford, who tries to bunt it and fouls it off. It was sending Haller with Pagan going to third. Sanford bunted his foul down the first base line, and the count is 2-2. One down, Miller in the on-deck circle.
Mighty big run to pick up, Russ.
A tremendously big run, Harry, because that could shackle the Dodgers' speed a bit and could also take the sacrifice play away from them, too, at this stage of the game, with the Giants leading 1-0. Haller just a couple of feet away from third base as Don Drysdale looks in again. The big right-hander ready as Sanford waits. Pitch to Sanford, swung on, foul back. He lost a grip on the bat, and it rolls out to the mound. You can tell that Jack's been in the ball game. He's showing the perspiration through his sweatshirt and through his uniform shirt. He didn't get much of that one, but he wanted to stay alive up there, just trying to meet the ball and hit it someplace and trust that the ball could go through. The Giants ahead by 1-0 on a single by Cepeda and a double by Alou. In this inning now, after Alou struck out, Haller walked and Pagan doubled into third. Sanford, up here with a count of 2-2, has fouled off 2 as he attempted to squeeze once and the next time swinging. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes as Don Drysdale looks in for the sign from Roseboro. The big right-hander sets and gets ready to deliver. Sanford bunts it back to Drysdale, who throws, cannot throw to the plate. All hands are safe. Tommy Haller scores as Drysdale falls down. Sanford beats it out. And Pagan is on at third, and the Giants lead 2-0. The 2-strike squeeze. Well, hey, that one bounced right.
Boy, that's daring baseball. Marvelous baseball, Russ. Everything is when it works, but certainly picked a good pitch. It was right down there where he could handle it. And you notice where Sanford's bat rolled, I think that Drysdale was a little bit distracted by the bat and trying to feel the ball. And for some reason or other, even though Drysdale fell down, they have scored it as an error.
Now Wally Moon takes time to come over and talk to Don with Pagan down at third. even though it is scored as an error, Sanford will get a run batted in. Sanford also will get a sacrifice on that. Now Tommy Davis comes over to talk to Don Drysdale, who was just still at the top of the order up there. And Chuck's a good butter, and it could happen again, although since he swings the bat very well, they might want him to be swinging. Sanford at first, Pagan at third, the Giants leading 2-0. Drysdale looking in to get his sign from John Roseborough. Working from the stretch, the runner's ready to go. Pitch to Hill is swung on and lined into short right field. Frank Howard comes charging in at the base hit in front of him. And Pagan comes in to score. Sanford stops at second. And the Giants lead 3-0. Pagan was holding at third, waiting to see where that ball was going to go. And as soon as he saw it hit the ground, he took off. Stewart to make it 3-0 San Francisco, and to bring up the Giant third baseman, Jimmy Davenport. There's a happy-looking Giant dugout at the moment, Russ, as you notice. You bet it is. They start to smell that money now. What a difference a few days can make, huh? And a few days did matter. Davenport's the Giant batter now, with Sanford at second and Hiller at first, with the Giants leading 3-0. Drysdale ready, throws to Davenport. Swing line drive to left field for a base hit. Sanford coming around third. Here comes Dick Snyder's throw. Into the plate. Jack Sanford slides. He scores. The Giants lead 4-0. Harry, one thing about it, throughout the season, Jack has had difficulty. After he has done a lot of running, as he has in this inning, he has faded a bit in the stretch a couple of times. So you can see that Mays, the next Giant batter, is not coming up to the plate. He goes back to change the bat. Those extra few gulps of air are good ones for a while.
He's had a tough round on those bases at that. And he can use a little bit of a breather here. And maybe the Dodgers might participate in that because they may have to change pitchers. Here's Walt Austin at the top of the dugout.
The reason he was up there is Tommy Davis that called for the ball at third. Here comes Leo, and there probably is going to be a pitching change. Billy O'Dell is trotting down to the Giant bullpen so that the Giants will have some left-handed relief as necessary. The reason Alton had come out, Carey, was Tommy Davis had called for the ball at third, going to claim that Sanford had missed the bag, but Josh O'Connor waved him away.
We lost the game in the Polo Grounds this year on a play like that, by the way. They're talking about Sanford perhaps being a little bit winded here. I think that you fellows could gamble your chances on his losing a little bit of stuff for those 3 additional runs in this inning, wouldn't you?
Well, I'm sure they would, because the Giants have well-rested pitchers, and for that reason, you can see activity in the Giant bullpen right now. Billy O'Dell is starting to throw. We'll pause here for station identification. This is the Golden West Radio Network.
Well, again, reminding you, from Labrador to Latin America, KSFO reporters always have the real story. For the best news, it's KSFO in San Francisco.
This is Russ Hodges along with Harry Carey on Dodger Stadium. There will be a pitching change. Drysdale, pitching with only 2 days of rest, will be removed from the game. And Ed Roebuck, who has to have the nomination for the rubber arm of the year, walks in. Ed, who pitched very well yesterday and blanking the Giants for 4 innings, has won 10 while losing 1, and he has 8 saves. Let's reconstruct this 6th inning. Hey, what would you say was the big play of this 6th inning here?
Oh, I think there's no doubt about it, Russ, as you very well know, and that's Sanford's 2-strike squeeze play on a 2-2 pitch. Not only the fact that he bunted the ball fair, quite frequently seen that play tried in that situation, but usually fouled and for a strikeout. But the fact that he was able to bunt the ball in a good position. And besides, had the good fortune of having his bat out there somewhere, too.
That's right. That helps also. Felipe Alou struck out. Here's a big hand for Drysdale, and this fellow certainly deserves it. Naturally, he is not the happiest individual in the world as he heads over to the clubhouse along with Coach Leo Durocher. Durocher taps him on the back as he disappears into the dugout, and Walter Olson applauds him also. Alou struck out, but then the Giants started to roll and on break, as Haller got a base on ball, Jose Pagan Bounced one to third base. Had it come down into the glove of Tommy Davis, it could have been a double play. But it was just over his head to roll down the left field line, fielded by Dick Snyder. Haller went to third and Pagan to second. Then Jack Sanford tried to bunt once with a 2-1 count and fouled it off. Swung the next time to keep the count at 2-2. Then the next time, bunted one back toward the mound. Drysdale fell down, had no play as Haller scored. And Sanford safe at first with Pagan going to third. Hiller dropped a single in front of Frank Howard in right field with Pagan scoring and Sanford going to second. Then Davenport hit a sharp single over third base into left field. Sanford scored from second with Hiller holding on at second. And now Ed Roebuck is in to pitch to Willie Mays. He has slid to center twice and fouled out. The Giants with runners at first and second, leading 4-0. Stu Miller and Billy Odell throw for the Giants. As Alvin has a flock of fellows he can use today if he wants to without using Marichal, who will be his starter tomorrow as needed. So Roebuck is ready to pitch to Willie Mays. Two runners set to go. The pitch to Will. It's a pitch out. A throw to first base. Davenport barely back in. Wally Moon has set up the play between the pitcher, the catcher, and Wally Moon. Dusty Dodgers now calls for timeout, and Davenport says he's ready to play. 1 ball, no strikes to Mays. He's not a good man to pitch out against because you get yourself behind on the count. The sinker ball expert Roebuck throws. Mays swings, it takes the pitches inside for ball 2. 2-0. Getting me, too. I said he swings. He didn't come close to swinging at it. Hiller is at second. Davenport is at first. The Giants lead 4-0. Roebuck delivers inside to Mays for a count of 3 balls and no strikes. Somebody just kicked over a chair. He's a premature celebrant. He just tripped a little bit, I guess. The count 3-0 to Mays, and he looked to see if he should be swinging. Roebuck delivers to Willie Mays, a curveball, a called strike, and it's 3-1. Mays usually tries to hit Roebuck to right field, but in this situation, he might try to get the bunt. Davenport at first, Chuck Hiller is at second. The count to Willie Mays, 3-1, and he asked for timeout now. Mays has slid to center field twice and fouled out. He was yesterday's big gun with 3 hits and a pair of homers. Now Roebuck wipes the perspiration off his forehead. Gilliam has moved over very close to second base. Howard in right center, giving Mays all of the right field line. Ed Roebuck ready. 3-1 pitch to Willie Mays. Swung on, bounded deep to third base. Tommy Davis juggles, but goes to second in time for the fourth out. Mays at first, with Hiller coming down to third, and Willie McCovey to swing the bat. You know, Russ, I can't get over the emotional impact in baseball. A week or so ago, or several days ago, when we saw the Giants, they looked so down and out. Now you wouldn't know it's the same ball club. This looks like the Giant ball club, but well, it grew early in the season. Yeah, they seem to be on their toes, taking advantage of every break they can get today. Willie McCovey will be the batter. He has grounded at first and walked twice, and Roseborough and Roebuck will have a little conference. We're set now as Mays and Hiller have their lead. Roebuck throws to first. Willie is back in. Now the pitch to McCovey. Low and outside with a sinker ball for ball 1. The Dodgers have such a wholesale respect for McCovey that they've walked him twice. They haven't given him anything approaching a good pitch since he grounded out in the second inning. The Giants lead 4-0. Mays at first, Hiller at third. The pitch to Willie McCovey, a swing and a miss on a sinker, and it's 1-1. This is giving Sanford some good rest over there. Eddie Roebuck comes to the set position again. Goes to first base. Willie Mays gets back in. With Mays on and Hiller at third, the Dodgers could be suspecting a double steal attempt. Roebuck pitches to McCovey low and inside for ball 2. There's 2 down, runners at first and third. The Giants have scored 3 times to lead, 4-0. Roebuck has gone to the well many a time this year. Carried that Dodger pitching staff for a while. Now Stuck throws 2-1. McCovey takes strike 2 over the outside corner for knees to run the string to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 44, Willie McCovey waiting. Roebuck comes set. Throws 2-2. Low and outside, ball 3, so Mays will be running on the pitch. With Orlando Cepeda waiting in the on-back circle to the right of the plate. Ernie Bowman leading the cheers from the Giant dugout. Three balls, 2 strikes to the Giants left-hander, Willie McCovey. And Roebuck is ready. Mays will go. There he goes. McCovey swings. Lines one into right field. Base hit. Miller scores. Mays streaks around to third. And now as the ball is juggled by William, Mays broke around third but holds on. 5-0. San Francisco leading. McCovey hitting a bullet. William had shifted over for him, but the ball was just hit 3 shots. The 9th batter will be up for the San Francisco Giants in the person of Orlando Cepeda, who has singled, flied to center, and grounded out to first base. Not much of a defense against a line drive like that, Harry.
Gilliam gave it quite a try, diving to the ball, but couldn't reach it. The Giants are sitting in pretty good position, I'd say, Russ.
Things are looking pretty healthy. Mays at third, McCovey at first. Roebuck pitches to Cepeda. There's a swing and a bounder up the middle, and Gilliam grabs it and tags second base. And McCovey, of course, coming down inside his retire. So the Giants in the 6th inning have come up with 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. There was 1 Dodger error and 2 left on. And at the end of 5.5 innings, the San Francisco Giants are leading the Dodgers in the second of the playoff series by a score of 5-0. Now with Jack Sanford looking like a fella that could really use himself a new uniform. He's got mud on it from sliding. He was perspiring, so the dirt turned into mud. He's ready to pitch the bottom of the 6th inning against Jim Gilliam, Duke Snyder, and Tommy Davis. With Bob Boland now throwing in the Giant bullpen. Sanford throws to Gilliam high for ball 1. Boland and Miller are pitching now and in the bullpen, and Billy O'Dell had done some throwing. As these Dodgers, after 35 scoreless innings, have got to be dangerous. Sanford throws to Gilliam a fastball that is low for ball 2 on a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Don Drysdale has departed. Ed Roebuck is doing the pitching. All of the Giants scoring off Drysdale. Here's the pitch outside for ball 3 and no strikes. Alvin Dark comes out immediately.
Exactly, Russ, because he doesn't look like the same pitcher his first 3 pitches of this inning. And he did work hard on those bases. It could have taken a lot out of him.
Well, the way he was bearing down all the way certainly has had to take something out of Jack also. And manager Alvin Dark is out there to inquire as to his condition. So Alvin, after a brief conference, walks back to the dugout.
Hey, Russ, does Chump Feeney suffer like this every day?
Every day. I mean, from opening day on.
Boy, he's making a nervous wreck out of me.
It's a big one, Harry. Gilliam now leading on the bat in the batter's box, waiting for the 3-0 pitch from Jack Sanford. And Sanford's into the windup. The pitch to Gilliam is in there for a called strike at 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Giants leading 5-0. Here's Sanford's 3-1 pitch to Gilliam, in there for strike 2 and a count of 3-2. Alvin might have told him to quit trying to work the corners, just get the ball over and make them hit their way on it. The 3-2 pitch to Gilliam is high for ball 4. He gets the third base on ball. will be all for Jack Sanford, I believe, as Alvin is walking out slowly. And now also there will be a defensive change, I believe, as we see Matty Alou getting up, which more than likely means the left-hander coming in. Alvin plays that percentage, Harry. He likes to have a very fast outfielder in when a left-hander is pitching, due to the fact that they're more likely to hit that ball to left field. But he has not indicated the left-hander as yet. It's going to be Stu Miller.
Well, you got the lead here, Russ. This ends it if you win it. You can't think about tomorrow. You got to win it here today. This probably never have a better chance.
Alvin Dark is pulling out all the stops. He will put Matty Alou in left field and bring in Stu Miller, who has pitched back to his last season form in his last outing. Despite his record of 5-8, Stu has been in on 13 saves. Miller will pitch. And Miller will bat in the number 4 position, and Matty Alou will hit in the number 9 position. Jack Sanford went 5 splendid innings. Make those notes if you're keeping score. Matty will bat in the number 9 position, which means he might bat here in the top of the 7th. He's listed the 4th batter. You just can't fault the work of Jack Sanford. He did a tremendous job. He held them down for 5 innings. Goes into the dugout, gets congratulations from everybody there, and now he'll tough it out in the clubhouse, either on radio or TV.
That's an important 5 innings he pitched, Russ, because he held the opposition scoreless until you had a chance to build up a lead. In other words, he pitched the most important 5 innings of this ball game from the way the game is developed.
Particularly against Drysdale. You don't want to have to come from behind against him because he gets tougher as the day goes by. Sanford pitched well enough to get him out of the ball game. And then Alvin has Bob Boland, Don Larson, and Billy Odell that he can use today if he has to without disturbing his starter for tomorrow, Juan Marichal, if they have to have him tomorrow. So Duke Snider will be up to bat against Stu Miller, who will take the number 4 spot in the batting order, vacated by Willie McCormick, who has just been relieved. All right, we're set to go. Things far from settled for the Senate of 1962. Duke Snider, the batter. On at first base, Jim Gilliam, who makes very good contributions to the Dodgers' cause with those bases on balls. He just got his 92nd. Snider waiting. Miller gets set. He delivers to the Duke. A curveball is swinging on a strike 1. Snider has walked and fly deep to left field. Tommy Davis will be the next batter up. And if things wind up today, Tommy has won the batting title by 2 or 3 points over Frank Robinson. Miller steps again. The lead at first for Gilliam. The pitch to the Duke. A high curveball is inside for ball 1 and strike 1. Miller was the winning pitcher Sunday when Mays homered off Farrell in the 8th inning. Miller had come in to pitch the 8th, and he also pitched tonight without allowing a base runner. His 5th win of the year. Cepeda behind Gilliam at first base as Stu Miller gets set for the 1-1 delivered to Snider. Miller throws. Duke swings. Lines it foul. Fair ball. Duke Snider is on the second base for the double. Gilliam comes to third. That one hit the scuff mark. And Harry, if anything, hit on the foul side of the scuff mark. He got about that last half inch.
Boy, it's a game of inches. And Russ, that's the first man to reach third base for the Dodgers in their last 31 innings.
That will bring up Tommy Davis as the Dodgers, who have gone 35 innings without a score. We'll recap. We understand we had a bit of transmission difficulty. After Gilliam walked, Snider hit the right field line with a double to send Gilliam to third. Tommy Davis, the batter, nobody down. Tommy has struck out and single to left. The Giants with the infield back. And Dodger Stadium getting ready to come apart. Miller throws. Tommy takes a fastball, a foul strike. It took about half an inch off the chalk mark on the foul side. Miller throws again. Tommy Davis takes inside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. Now it's Bob Boland and Billy O'Dell throwing for the Giants, who lead 5-0, with Gilliam at third and Snyder at second. And here's the windup of Miller for the next pitch to Tommy. Curves him low and outside for ball 2 and strike 1. Anywhere at all. Now getting set for the 2-1 pitch. Here's Stu's next delivery. The pitch to Tommy Davis, sent on a high drive in the deep center. Mays will make the catch. Gilliam will score. Snyder tags and goes to third. Will be the batter, and he has a chance to drive in another one with Duke Snyder at third. A long, high sacrifice fly to center. The Giants to the infield back again. Miller throws to Wally Moon, who ran up to bunt the ball, but took it inside for ball 1. The Giants lead 5-1. That roar from the crowd sounded as though he hit a grand slam, but they were so happy to see the Dodgers finally break that scoring streak. Started by Larry Jackson, continued by Ernie Brolio, then Kirk Simmons, then Billy Pierce. Finally, it's broken off Jack Sanford and Miller. Pitch to Moon, a curve is low and inside. Ball 2, no strike. Moon, a former Cardinal, who stands deep in the batter's box, a left-handed batter. Miller throws to Wally. There's a curve hit foul down the first base line, bounded by the first base coach, Greg Malevich. Jimmy Davenport playing wide of third as Moon slices the ball quite often. Matty Alou, the new left fielder, straight away and left. Mays and Felipe Alou in the deep outfield spot as Miller winds and throws 2-1. Pitch to Moon, a slow curve is high. Ball 3. 3-1 pitch on the way. Wally takes a fastball. He was taking all the way. It's a call strike for 3-2. Two strikes. Duke Snyder is at third with 1 out. Miller winds, throws to Wally Moon. His pitch, a curveball, rolls foul down the first base line. Moon was out in front of that pitch and was barely able to foul it off. Ernie, the Giants bat boy who made the trip down here with the team from San Francisco, feels that one. Sends it back over to the Dodger bat boy. And the Dodgers are showing more bullpen activity because eventually they will probably have to pinch hit for Ed Roebuck. Tension mounting again as Wally Moon waits on the 3-2 pitch. Here's Miller's windup and delivery. On the way, he holds up, takes ball 4. And here is Big Frank Howard, the home run leader of the Dodgers. With runners at first and third, Howard has walked and lined to center field. Fella can scare you by just showing up at the ballpark. So the runners at first and third with 1 down, and Miller looks over at first. He sets to throw to Howard. A curveball has him swinging. Strike 1. to handle Howard easily, but Howard has been getting more base hits off Stu this year. Miller pitches. Howard takes high and inside. Ball one. Frank has struck out 106 times. And he has walked 38. He has 117 runs batted in with 31 homers, 6 triples, and 25 doubles. Now with runners at first and third, the Giants lead 5-1. Miller throws to Frank Howard. A curveball that has him swinging, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the biggest ball player around in the big league. And Stu Miller with his sign from Tommy Haller. Moon leads at first. Stu gets set, throws to Frank Howard outside for a ball, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. You remember that first series here this year when Howard drove in 12 runs against the Giants? Boy, they couldn't do anything with him. Now Miller, the calmest person in the place, rubs up the baseball. And is set to throw 2-2 to Frank Howard. His pitch to Big Frank, a curveball. Miller got that one too high. Coming in to score is Snyder. Runners at first and second with Johnny Roseberry. Frank Howard putting the Dodgers right back in the ballgame as he drove in his 118th run. And manager Alvin Dark is going to make another pitching change. He will bring in the left-hander Billy Odell to face the left-handed batting Johnny Roseberry. With his pitches as high as he's been here today. Everything he seemed to throw seemed to be up, and he liked to keep that ball down. That was the pitch he thought would be a strikeout pitch, but it was up in Howard's eyes. In fact, up where that ball was, we would have been surprised to see it riding out of here, Harry. Well, it's got to breathe a little life into him. This certainly has. This is just open for. They were definitely going to do some scoring. Billy Odell will come in. Doris Day is leading cheers for the Dodgers down there in her box seat that's adjacent to the Dodger dugout. I see Doug Camilli coming down the line. I guess he'll be used as a pinch hitter somewhere along the line. He was successful yesterday. They might use him as a pinch hitter for Roseberry. Or they could use him as a pinch hitter for Willie Davis. Or, of course, for Ed Roebuck if the Dodgers go that far. Reconstructing the bottom of the 6th inning. Jack Stanford ran out of gas, walked Gilliam, and was taken out with Miller coming in to pitch to Snyder. Snyder hit the right field line on the double, sending Gilliam to third. Tommy Davis got a long sacrifice fly to center field that got the Dodgers' first run home in 35 in the 3rd inning. Then Moon walked, and Frank Howard hit a 2-2 pitch to left field. A real screamer that sent Stu Miller out of there and got the Dodgers their second run. Moon went to second and held on. Frank Howard is at first with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. The Giants leading 5-2. So what appeared to be for a while as a routine victory means that this is a real tough one now. Camilli is out on the on-deck circle and will bat for Willie Davis, we presume, although now he starts to walk up to the plate. And is probably just going to call some encouragement out to Roseberry. No, he's going to bat for Roseberry. Boy from Santa Rosa, California, a fine gentleman and a great catching prospect, is batting .279 on the season. Has batted in 22 runs with 4 homers, 2 triples, and 5 doubles. Doubled in the role of a pinch hitter yesterday off Billy Pierce. Tom Haller had charged over to the Giants dugout to say something to manager Alvin Dark. The son of a former great first baseman of the Dodgers, a great family heritage that he inherited from his One out. And Odell ready to throw to Camilli. The pitch to Doug is taken inside for ball one. Odell, who pitched Sunday, worked 7 fine innings and left with the score tied 1-1 with the Giants, winning it out 2-1. This is his 43rd appearance. He's won 19 while losing 14. The digger, as the Giants call him, ready, throws to Camilli, inside with a curve for ball 2. Bob Bolin and Don Larson loosing for the Giants. But only one away, the Dodgers with their biggest threat of the last week. Staving off, or doing all they can to stave off elimination from the pennant race. Odell throws a curve that ties for ball 3. Count. Howard leads at first, Wally Moon at second. Odell has not been close with any of these pitches. Now he throws 3-1. The pitch is in there for a called strike. He threw 3-0 and it's now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch. Camilli swings and misses on a fastball. It's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Camilli saw some service with the Dodgers last year. All right, the 2 runners ready to go as Odell throws to Camilli, and the ball fouls off the mask of Tom Haller. You think you can't live a long time in one of these situations? Harry, you can be relaxed because you're a disinterested spectator.
Not really, Russ. I'm pulling hard for you.
All right. Now 3-2 to Doug Camilli. Howard at first, Wally Moon at second. Billy Odell set, throws a fastball line to right field, base hit. Wally Moon round third, they hold him up. Bases are loaded as the throw comes through. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Golden West Radio Network.
Confusion, construction, or chaos, I'll guide you through, dear friend. This is Jack Carney on the Commute Club Daily on KSFO in San Francisco.
The bases are loaded now, and there will be a pinch hitter. Carey will bat for Willie Davis as the Dodgers are pulling out all the stops as they have taken out their regular catcher Johnny Roseborough and now have taken out their regular center fielder Willie Davis, and Andy Carey has been announced as the pinch hitter as manager Alvin Dark is on the top step of the dugout but has not made a move as yet. Boone stopped at third. Howard is at second. Doug Camilli is at first. The Giants lead 5-2, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning as the Dodger club, sleeping for so long, has suddenly come alive. Andy Carey, a right-handed batter, average of 234. Odell and Carey faced each other in the American League. Odell throws to Carey. There's a swing and a foul. Strike 1. There is no pinch hitter out on deck for Ed Roebuck, but the Dodgers still have plenty of them. Dale Spencer, McMullen. The lead by Wally Moon, the pitch by Billy Odell. Carey swings and misses, strike 2, and he was really setting for the heavy lumber that time. They talk about Drysdale pitching with 2 days of rest. Odell pitched 7 sub-innings Sunday. The Giants deep on the infield and outfield, hoping for the double play ball. Moon, Howard, and Camilli ready to go. Odell delivers. Carey takes it outside. A ball for a count of 1-2. This is when the managers start to outthink each other. Odell delivering to the plate. The pitch to Carey swung on and grounded foul, and Leo Durocher had to do the hop, skip, and jump at third base. A lot of people hanging on every pitch in this game with the Giants radio network and the Dodger radio network, local TV in both San Francisco and Los Angeles and around the country. The 1-2 delivery by Billy Odell. The pitch to Andy Carey is foul back. Carey has been used for spot duty. This is his 53rd game. And he has a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes in an inning that seems to have started last Thursday. The Dodgers have scored twice. They have the bases loaded. And Odell checks with his catcher again as the runners are set to go. Billy into the windup. Pitch to Andy Carey. Low for ball 2 on a count of 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 man away. The Dodgers with the bases loaded. On 2 walks and 3 hits in this inning with 2 runs already coming in. Now the 2-2 pitch to Andy Carey is inside and almost hit him in the foot. He claims he was hit. He was hit. And Tom Haller is arguing with Al Barlick that the ball did not hit him, but it forces home Wally Moon. And now the Dodgers will have to make a move as Ed Roebuck is their listed batter. And Lee Walls is being sent up to the plate. Change, Russ. That's why people turn out to see baseball all the time, right? They're waiting for the announcement of Lee Walls and then probably a pitching change for the Giants. Lee Walls is up to act as a pinch hitter now, as the Dodgers have used their 3rd consecutive pinch hitter, and 2 of them have delivered, with one of them getting the hit and the other one getting hit for the pitch. And with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning, we'll see if manager Doc is going to make a change. He has Bolin and Larson ready, but he's going to stay with Billy Odell against Lee Walls. The Giants lead 5-3. The Dodgers with the tying runners at 2nd and 3rd. The possible lead run at 1st. And Odell Buck. Wait just a moment. Jocko Conlon had taken exception to something and had called timeout. We thought he was calling a ball. Oh, the Dodger bench had yelled times as they want to put in a runner. Durocher was yelling balk, but Conlon had called time, and that's why Odell balked. Burright is running. Odell throws to Lee Walls, misses outside. Walter Olson going to his bench, and he's got a great one. Lee Walls batting for Robot. Larry Burright running for Andy Carey. Howard at 3rd. At 2nd base, Camilli. At 1st, Burright. Giants leading 5-3. Here's the pitch by Billy Odell to Lee Walls. The curve is good for the called strike at 1-1. We cannot see into the Dodger bullpen beyond one corner of it. We can see Peronowski throwing down there. Counts the ball on a strike. Number 7, Walls waiting. And here's the pitch by Odell. Walls swings on a curve. Strike 2. This is what you would want to see in a playoff. You'd want to see this kind of action, and the Dodgers are giving it to their fans. This is a real battle for survivor by the Dodgers, and the real battle for the Giants to take it off. Billy O'Dell on the hill now with a count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-handed batting pinch hitter, Lee Walsh, who has played first base and outfield and been used an all-around man. He's also played third. He's batting .262. O'Dell winds and throws to Walsh. A curveball hit deep to left center field. That's going to put the Dodgers ahead as the ball bounces off the wall. Burright rounding third on his way to the plate. Here comes the throw. And nobody's at third, and Pagan cannot tag that Walsh to a safe, and the Dodgers lead 6-5. With a double to score them off and to send Billy O'Dell to the showers. And when Pagan and Davenport were both chasing Willie Mays' throw, Walsh came on around to third. And the Dodgers have gone ahead 6-5, and they have to hold up production here while they take the cushions off the field as the fans have really been firing everything they could. So that's what you call having a bench to deliver for you, Harry, the way the Dodgers have paraded them up there this inning.
Well, I guess you had to expect it sooner or later, Russ. They had gone 31 innings without getting a man to third base, let alone scoring a run. They won 35 in the third innings before they finally scored. The relief pitching of the Giants here in this inning, unfortunately, hasn't been able to cope with them, and now it's an entirely new ball game.
It's a ball game that sees the Giants behind as Lee Walsh hit the left field fence with a 2-base hit of Billy O'Dell to empty the bases of the 3 that were on there. Walsh is on third with 1 down, and Don Larson makes the long walk from the Giant bullpen. The Dodgers have scored 6 times to wipe out a Giant lead at the start of the inning at 5-0. And Leo Durocher is having a little conference with Lee Walsh over there as Maury Wills will come on the bat, and these Dodger fans in their exuberance have thrown oranges and cushions and anything that they could get their hands on onto the field. So Don Larson will be the Giants' 4th pitch of the inning. Stanford started. Then Miller, then O'Dell, and Billy did not get anybody out in his time there. And if the score were to remain this way, 6-5 Los Angeles would be charged with the defeat. Boland remains in the Giant bullpen throwing. No matter what happens the rest of the way, Harry, they'll be talking about that bases clearing double for a long time here at Dodger Town.
You know, I can hardly hear what you said, Russ. There's bedlam here. 25,321, but it sounds like about 125,000. You know, one thing about it is Dodger Ball Club now has some of their defensive stars out of the ball game, and this thing is a long way from being over, so hang in there.
I should say it is. Here is Maury Wills with Lee Walsh at third. Maury, one of the more accomplished bunters around, and Don Larson sets the pitch to him. Larson making his 47th appearance. Wills 0 for 3. Larson checking Walls at third. He throws to Wills, a strike called on the outside corner. Leo yells down to Maury Wills to ping one. And now Wills decides that he will back out. Is 1 strike to this left-handed batter. Larson throws. Wills takes this one outside. Ball. 6-5 the Dodgers lead. They have 6 runs and 6 hits. The Giants 5 runs, 8 hits in the bottom of the 6th. Set with a pitch to Maury Wills. on. Wise delivers. Will swings, fouls it back to the screen. Counted 1-2. This left-handed batting Maury Wills waiting in here. He is the ninth batter up for the Dodgers. It all started with a walk to Jim Gilliam as Gus Mantle retired. So Wills chokes up on the club. He just tries to meet the ball and hit it through or over the infield. Mays, Matty Alou, and Felipe playing shallow. And here's Larson's pitch to Wills. There's a bounding ball to Cepeda at first base, who throws into the plate. And Lee Walls is safe at the plate as Haller would strike and drop the ball. Haller got the spikes across the back of the right hand. Had he held on to the ball, Walls was going to be out. But he dropped the ball, and the Dodgers lead 7-5. That is a fielder's choice. Haller is going over to the dugout. Whether to be taken out of the game, but he is taking off the chest protection. And he's a rather angry young man as he leaves. Now, whether that means he is removed from the game, no, he is not removed. They want to bring in John Orsino. They will take Haller out and bring in John Orsino because they will want to use Ed Bailey for later pinch hitting duty.
What a play, Russ. I didn't think he had a chance at the plate, but as it turned out, the man would have been out. Haller, I think, has been charged with the error. Very excusable error because he was hurt on the play. He was spiked on the bare hand.
He got it right across the back of the hand. The Dodgers have scored 7 times to lead now by a score of 7-5, and they have what the fans want to see, Maury Wills on at first base with Jim Gilliam coming up to bat, and Orsino will come in to catch for the San Francisco Giants. And it's a 7-5 score as baseball history being made here this afternoon at Dodger Stadium, with the Dodgers coming from behind to go ahead 7-5 with a 7-run 6th inning. We will check on the condition of Tom Haller. Secretary Eddie Brynick will give us the information as to how much of a laceration he suffered, and the loss of Tom could be a tough one, not only for tomorrow's game, but if the Giants get into the series. And it will be up to Johnny Orsino to try to throw out Maury Wills if Maury has an idea of stealing, and he probably does. Here's the fellow that started it all, Jim Gilliam. Again, to echo Harry Carey's statement, that was a great play that Cepeda made. He put the ball right on the runner. Al Bollig, veteran umpire that he is, waited to be sure before he called the play. So Johnny Orsino will be making his 18th appearance in Giant uniform after working at Tacoma. Has a batting average of .255. And with this Dodger Stadium coming apart at the seams, the charge is being sounded. Gilliam is batting. Maury Wills at first base. And Larson picks up the roster bag, and now the starter. Number 19, Gilliam hanging in as Maury Wills leads at first. Larson looks over there. Wills dances away. There he goes. The ball swung on and missed. The throw to second base. It's way in the center field. Mays up to the ball. Wills tries for third. The throw to third. And Wills is out. Willie Mays throwing a perfect strike to third. Hey, maybe, Harry, that's one way maybe you get Maury Wills out. I tell you, that Willie is something to see. He charged that ball like a shortstop, feeling it on the run, and threw all in the same motion and had him easily at third base. And getting that second big out could be the big play of this inning as Wills was on there with a good hitter up here in Gilliam. Gilliam swung at the pitch for strike one. Give Orsino an error on the throw. And Mays an assist for his perfect peg to Jim Davenport. And Larson sets the pitch to Jim Gilliam. And now Gilliam backed out just as Larson was ready to throw. Thanks for checking Here's a fastball for a called strike. Wills gets the steal. But since he was out at third, there was no advance, so no error for Orsino. Count is 2 strikes as Jim Gilliam stands in here. With 2 down, the base is empty. The Dodgers leading 7-5 as they're battling for their lives. If they don't win today, there's no tomorrow for them. Now the 2-strike pitch for Larson to Gilliam is low for ball 1 and strike 2.
Russ, Tom Haller's right forearm was cut. Several stitches will have to be taken. They don't know whether they'll be able to play tomorrow or not.
Well, it's certainly a tough break, but you have to accept those things in baseball. Now the 1 and 2 pitch. Gilliam sends a drive to right field. Alou is back, waiting, has it. And one of the longest innings that I've ever seen has finally come to an end as the Dodgers have a total of 7 runs. 1, 2, 3. 4 hits. There was 1 count error, and nobody left on. So as we move to the top of inning number 7, with Peronowski coming in, the score is 7-5. Los Angeles.
Set to go to the top of inning number 8 and the middle of this giant batting order. Ron Peronowski will work to Jimmy Davenport, Willie Mays, and then Don Larson, our pinch batter. Davenport has singled in 4 trips. Facing Peronowski for the first time here. Ron came on to pitch for his 7th inning, gave up 2 hits, but got out of trouble. So Jimmy Davenport, the batter. Giants trying to rally here. Led at one time 5-0. Trail now 7-5. Fastball is low to Davenport for ball 1. 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to the Giant third baseman. Peronowski's 1-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit into left center field. Davenport cracks his second hit. Tommy Davis over to field, fires into second. The ball bounds away from Maury Wills. Davenport has himself a single, and that'll bring up Willie Mays. Mays, hitless on the day, has flied out twice, has popped up, and is forced to run. So Willie Mays, the batter.
Well, this Peronowski's not exactly fooling him. That's 3 hits that belted off him that hit the ball hard.
Well, they need to back him up here in this inning as Mays waits. Pitch is sliced foul into the seats to the right, strike 1. Willie going for a fastball. 0-1 the count. Nobody down. Davenport leading off with a single to center. Here in the top of inning number 8. The Giants trail by 2. 7-5. Stretch and the pitch. Outside, the ball off the glove of Camilli, but keeps it in front of him, and Davenport does not try to move up. Oh, Boles is trotting in from the Giant bullpen. Don Larson due up next. Mays waiting with a 1-1 count. Davenport at first. Jimmy nailing a solid single to center. With nobody down, and Peronowski takes the stretch. Here's the pitch to Mays. Curveball outside, ball 2. Count is 2 balls. And 1 strike to Willie Mays. Davenport on at first, nobody down. The outfield deep for Willie. Peronowski stretches for the 2-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit into left center field. Going over for it is Snyder. He cuts it off, and Davenport has to hold at second. Mays blistered a solid liner to left. So the Giants have runners at first and second with nobody down. Carey?
I think there's going to be another pitcher brought in here, Lon. Boy, they're really hitting that ball. These last 2 innings against Peronowski, the Dodgers have been rather fortunate that you haven't scored. Right now, you have a situation, runners at first and second and nobody out. And undoubtedly, it's going to be a right-hander brought in. Can't tell who it is. I understand Stan Williams has been out there warming up along with Larry Sherry. I can make out Sherry from here. They haven't announced yet who the pitcher will be, but there's Jocko Carmen going out towards the left field bullpen.
Well, we've seen a variety of action out here this afternoon as Peronowski now goes 1 inning plus, retires nobody here in the 8th inning. Gives up singles to Davenport and Mays, and manager Alvin Darknell will have to make a decision. He has Ed Bailey coming in from the bullpen, and he can have Ed swing for Don Larson and bring in a new pitcher, or he can go with Larson in this situation. Bailey is coming in. Jack Smith will come in to pitch for the Dodgers. So Jack Smith, who the Giants saw briefly yesterday, and a fellow that just came up at the end of the season, had a great minor league record in relieving. Has pitched 2 innings yesterday, gave up 1 hit to the Giants. So possibly a little bit of a surprise here, Harry, in the fact that they're calling on Jack Smith with Sherry and Stan Williams out there.
A daring move by manager Walt Austin. Here's a boy just a couple of weeks ago was pitching for Omaha.
And here in the heat of this playoff for the National League Championship, it's his responsibility to get the slugging Giants out.
Ed Bailey has selected a bat, and Ed, who has delivered some mighty big pinch hits for the Giants this year, will come up to swing a bat. Karanowski getting a hand as he leads. Davenport at second, Mays at first, back-to-back singles with nobody down. And Ed Bailey bringing up a batting mark of only .225, but with 17 home runs and 44 RBIs.
You know, every time I have to talk about Bailey, I bring in my favorite town that he hails from, Lon, Strawberry Plains, Tennessee.
Well, he was talking about these playoff games being on TV, and he said, well, they get the show about tomorrow morning. He said, they pipe it back there pretty close, but it takes 2 echoes to get it into Strawberry.
There was always one battery I wanted to see united on one ball club, and that was Vinegar Ben Mizell, who was from Vinegar Bend, Alabama, and Ed Bailey, who, of course, is from Strawberry Plains, Tennessee.
Someone might think you're putting them on. Nobody comes from Vinegar Bend and Strawberry Plains. So Jack Smith, the right-hander, comes on to pitch, and Ed Bailey will be up to swing a bat.
Well, I think it's the first time in my broadcasting career I've seen a man turn gray during one ball game. Look at Chub Phoenix.
I'll tell you, he had to practice going from shade to shade all this season. So Ed Bailey, who hit a home run on the final day of the season to give the Giants their first run, he hit that off Dick Farrell. Had a single in yesterday's ball game. Up here now to face Jack Smith, the right-hander, with Mays at first and Jimmy Davenport at second. The Giants trail by 2, 7-5. They now have 12 hits to the Giants, and the Dodgers have 7. So Ed Bailey looking for that 13th hit in this situation, up here to swing a bat. Outfield deep for Ed. Bailey set to move in. It's Jack Smith. Makes his 8th appearance of the year. Davenport at second, Mays at first, nobody down. A stretch by Smith for the first pitch to Bailey. High, ball 1, 1-0. 7-5, the Dodgers lead. The Giants threaten in the 8th. Bailey ready. As Smith looks in for the sign from Doug Camilli. Right-hander takes his stretch. Here's the pitch. Foul back, and the count is 1-1. And Ed had a good rip at that one, and a good pitch to rip at, too. So it's a 1-1 count to Bailey. Davenport at second, Mays at first, nobody out. Top of the 8th, the Giants trail 7-5. Bailey switching that bat up there, waiting for Smith's next delivery. The stretch, the runner's leading. Here's the pitch. Curveball foul back, and it's 1-2. So it's a ball and 2 strikes to Bailey, trying to nail one in this situation. One and 2 count to Ed Bailey. Davenport at second, Mays at first. They got back-to-back singles off Karanowski, who retreated to the dugout as Jack Smith came on. Smith pitching to the left-hand batting Bailey. The right-hander takes his stretch for the 1-2 pitch. Line drive to center field, in there for a base hit. Coming around to score is Davenport. Mays streaking for third. He slides, and he's pulled out at third. The most unbelievable call you've ever seen. Mays is called out at third base by Doc O'Conlon. He'd called Mays safe first at third and then called him out. And Mays was on the bag when he was called out. So Willie Mays thrown out at third. Davenport scores. Harry?
Well, I can't understand his indecision for this reason. The ball wasn't juggled or anything at all. He had both hands down as if to call him safe, and then as if he had a thought about something else and then waved them out. A real tough play against the Giants. That was a tying run with nobody out on third base. Instead, there's one run in. The Giants are one run behind, but there's one out. The tying run now is over at first base.
Boy, I'll tell you, that one hurt. And Orlando Cepeda is the batter. So Mays thrown out at third by Tommy Davis. Over at first, Ed Bailey. 3 solid singles by the Giants, and Orlando Cepeda out there. And Alvin Dark walking slowly back to the dugout, and Bailey will come out, and Carl Boles will go in to run for him. So Carl Boles goes in as a runner, and Orlando Cepeda is up there. Barely over to talk to the pitcher, Jack Smith. So big play here. Mays is thrown out at third on a very close call, to say the least. We're too far away from the plate to second-guess the umpire, but as Harry Carey said, the indecision rendered was the strange part about it. Boles leads from first. Cepeda takes high for a ball, 1-0. 7-6, the Giants trail by a run. 13 hits now as Ed Bailey delivers the single to drive in a run. A go to first base. Boles was standing right on the bag. Here's the next pitch. Cepeda fouls it back, and it's 1-1. Count to Cepeda. One man out, a runner at first. Carl Boles running for Ed Bailey, who pinch hit a single. A looper into short right. Howard chasing in and drops the ball. Howard tried to make a one-handed catch and dropped the ball, and there would have been your tying run. As Boles goes to second, and Cepeda's on at first, and it'll go as an error on the right fielder. And Felipe Alou is the batter. Right here, let's pause for station identification. This is the Golden West Radio Network.
Al Collins here. I can't tell you how many home runs we hit last year, but I can tell you how many tons of mustard. KSFO in San Francisco.
Now Leo Durocher is coming out to the mound, and there'll be a pitching change. Felipe Alou is scheduled to bat, and I believe that, well, I won't call it. It's either Larry Cherry or Stan Williams. Stan Williams will come on to pitch for the Dodgers. So they will use their 5th pitcher. The Giants have runners at first and second with one man out. 3 singles and an error, but Mays called out at third base on a very close play. And right now, Harry Carey, that looms as the big play of this ballgame.
It does, but he's still in good position. There's nothing wrong with the Giants right now that a base hit wouldn't cure. You have runners at first and second with only one out, and Felipe Alou due to be your hitter. It was a tough play to go against at that particular spot. Particularly tough because it looked like he had started to call him safe and change his mind.
So Stan Williams, the 5th pitcher, comes on. Karanowski went 1 inning plus. He has been charged with 1 run on a total of 4 hits. Smith goes 1/3 of an inning and gives up a hit to Ed Bailey. Cepeda safe on the error by the right fielder Howard. And Stan Williams, hard-throwing right-hander, comes in to work for the Dodgers. So Williams making his 39th appearance, won 13 and lost 12, with an earned run mark of 4.51.
Well, I tell you one thing that ought to help this Williams right about now. It's that time of the afternoon, and the shadows from the stand have engulfed the entire infield.
He's pitching in the shadow, as it were, and, of course, he does throw hard. I imagine it might be a little bit difficult to follow that ball along about now around home plate. Although you'd never know that from the way these line drives have been booming in this inning. 3 of them hit right on the nose.
And the Giants have been certainly nailing some solid drives in this inning. Ron Fairley is coming into the dugout. And now whether there's a possibility that Ron will be going out into right field or not in place of Frank Howard. Howard came in on Cepeda's ball and was looking into the sun, which is right over the rim of the stadium. There's another factor for the right fielder and the center fielder, that over this high stands now, the sun is right in the fielder's eyes. Ron Fairley isn't at first base. And time is being called as Alou had stepped in. So Fairley is talking to Walt Alston now. What the situation is going to be. Fairley now going back to first base, so the Dodgers will remain the same. So Felipe Alou, who has doubled, singled, struck out, and grounded out of the batter. The Giants trail by a run 7-6, have Carl Boles at second, Cepeda at first, with 1 man out. Both ball clubs running out of changers or pinch hitters. So Alou up here to face right-hander Stan Williams. Williams takes the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Alou outside with a fastball, ball 1. Williams really hummed it. 1-0 the count. Felipe Alou waiting. Cepeda at first, Boles at second. Giants trail by a run, 7-6. Stretch by Williams, and the next pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Cepeda at first, Boles at second, a 1-1 count on Alou. The Giants trail by a run, 7-6. Williams nods yes, takes the stretch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside with a fastball, ball 2. 2-1. John Orsino due to bad neck. Williams getting the sign from Doug Camilli. Taking a long look. The Giants had 5 hits over the last 2 innings. They've made it pay off in only 1 run so far. Here's the stretch and the next pitch. Ball 3 outside. It's 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. So Felipe Alou waits. 3-1 count. Now Alou backs away to get a handful of dirt. 3-1 count on him. Boles at second. Cepeda at first. 1 man out. A run in. The Giants trail by 1, 7-6. Top of the 8th inning. Alou waiting for Stan Williams' 3-1 delivery. The right-hander takes his stretch. The runners lead. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He walked in and they're loaded up. So Williams walks Alou, and the batter will be John Orsino. So the tying run moves to third with 1 out. John Orsino, who singled his first time up, as the batter. Boles at third. Cepeda at second. Alou at first. And Cepeda, calling time, wants to get rid of his batting helmet at second base. So the Giants have the bases loaded with 1 out. Trailing by a run, 7-6 here in the top of the 8th. Giants led at one time, 5-0. The Dodgers scored 7 times in the bottom of inning number 6. John Orsino waiting. Boles at third. Cepeda at second. Alou at first. Stan Williams checking John Orsino now for the first pitch. The Dodgers play their infield back, double play deep. Williams relaxes on the mound for a moment, now ready. And time is called. Outfield around to the left for Orsino and deep. Boles bluffs down the line. The pitch to Orsino. A high drive hit to left center field. That'll score the run. Tommy Davis going back near the wall. And right in front of the wall makes the catch. Boles streaks into scores. Cepeda goes to third. And Felipe Alou tags up and goes to second, and this one is tied. Orsino almost rode one out of here.
Carey, you can say that again. That boy hit that ball about 390 feet, and Tommy Davis was right near the fence when he grabbed it. The high fastball, and he had good wood on it. So she's all tied up again, Ron.
Well, what an afternoon as Orsino drives a long fly to left center field and just about got that one far enough to get it off the wall or into the seats. A conference on the mound. Jose Pagan is the batter. Harvey Keene follows Pagan. 2 men down. Cepeda went to third. Alou to second. The Giants tied here at 7-7. Pagan has popped up, has singled to short, has doubled, and has singled to left. So he's 3 for 4.
Hasn't done a thing until he gets that fourth hit right there.
That's right. So they 2 men out. Cepeda bluffing down the line at third. Alou leading off at second. Here's Williams' windup. The pitch to Pagan. Low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strike. One and nothing to Pagan. 2 down. Cepeda at third. Alou at second. 7-7 ball game. Top of the 8th inning. Williams looks over his shoulder at Alou leading. Cepeda bluffs down the line. Here's the pitch to Pagan. Low, ball 2. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes, and Jose backs away and checks with Whitey Lockman. 2 balls, no strikes. Two and nothing to Pagan. Alou at second, Cepeda at third. 2 men out, 2 runs in. The Giants and Dodgers tied at 7-7, top of the 8th. Orlando bluffing again. Here's the 2-0 pitch. A bounder to third. Gilliam charges. His throw is in time. And that's all for the time. So here in the 8th, 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 Dodger error and 2 runners left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's tied up at 7-7. We go to the bottom of the 9th, all tied up at 7-7, and this is sudden death situation. Right here, let's pause for station identification. This is the Golden West Radio.
This is Bill Courtney. Whether fasting or feasting, keep my music on your lunchtime menu on...
Well, the top of the batting order in the 9th for the Dodgers. Score tied at 7-7. Maury Wills, Jim Gilliam. And then Duke Snyder. And Bob Bolen set to work. As it's sudden death now, the bottom of the 9th, tied at 7-7. Here's Bolen's windup, and the pitch to Wills. Inside, almost hitting ball 1. 1-0, Davenport up on the edge of the grass. The rest of the infield shortened. Outfield shallow. Wills batting left-handed against Bob Bolen. And Bob winds. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 outside. Boy, this is one guy you don't want to walk and get on. 2 balls, no strikes. The windup for the 2-0 pitch. Strike call. Fastball on the inside. It's 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. Maury Wills leading off the 9th for the Dodgers. Then Gilliam and Snyder. All 3 to bat left-handed against Bob Bolen. Bolen winds for the 2-1 pitch to Maury Wills. Slice foul. Strike 2. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 count to Maury Wills leading off against Bob Bolen here in the bottom of the 9th. And here's Bob's windup, the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball into the seats, and it stays at 2-2. The Giants led 1-0 after 2, led 5-0 after 6, or after 5.5 rather. Then the Dodgers scored 7 times the bottom of the 6th to take a 7-5 lead. The Giants got 2 in the 8th to tie it. Ball up to Stan Williams and Bob Bolen now. They're the pitcher of record. 2-2 count to Wells. High, ball 3. Full count, 3-2 to Maury Wells. Bolen was the target now from Orsino. 3-2 pitch. Walked him, and boy, that was a close pitch. So the Dodgers have a runner on there. So Alvin Dark has decided to go to the bullpen. And he'll call on Dick LeMay to come in. So Bolen walks Wills to lead off here in the ninth. And manager Alvin Dark will call on Dick LeMay to make his 9th appearance of the year. He's won none and lost one. So Dick LeMay will be called in.
I imagine one of the big factors of making this move, Lon, is Maury Wills' base stealing ability, and Bob Bolen isn't too good at holding a man close, and he wants a left-hander in there who can keep Wills as honest as is possible to keep him.
And that'll mean that Jim Gilliam will switch around and bat right-handed. Duke Snyder is slated to follow Gilliam here to work. In the 9th inning, second game of the playoffs, Giants and Dodgers tied at 7-7. And Maury Wills at first with nobody out. Al Barlick signals to LeMay. He has 2 more warm-up tosses. LeMay with a good fork ball, and he has to keep his pitches down low to be effective. Question here whether the Dodgers will be having Gilliam sacrifice or giving Maury Wills a pitcher's go to steal off. So Gilliam moves in against Dick LeMay. Dick takes the stretch. Wills leads, and LeMay lobs the toss over there. Wills back in. Stretch, another go, and once more Wills is back. LeMay, you can bet, under instructions to keep throwing over there to keep Maury Wills close. Wills has that fantastic knack of being able to get the lead. And again, LeMay goes to first base. He's not thrown to the plate yet. He's thrown 3 times at first. Gilliam batting right-handed against LeMay. Davenport crowded up at third. LeMay takes his stretch. Wills leads off, and LeMay throws again to first base. By LeMay. And the pitch to the plate. Wills was going back to second, and the ball is foul. Well, if that one had stayed fair, Orsino has a chance to get Wills at second base, as LeMay had Wills going back to the bag when he delivered to the plate.
I'm convinced more than ever that's the primary purpose for making the move when Alvin Dark did. He needs a pitcher out there that can hold Wills close.
Now Orsino's going out to talk to LeMay. A 1-strike count on Gilliam. That was just a short bunt down the first baseline. Orsino tried to grab it before it went foul and throw to second. But it trickled foul, so it's a 1-strike count on Gilliam. Wills still at first base. LeMay looking in now for the sign for the 1-strike pitch to Gilliam. There's the stretch to go to first, and Wills back in. So LeMay concentrating on keeping Wills close. Takes his stretch. Goes again to first base, and not in time. The fans booing LeMay's efforts to keep Wills pinned there at first. Dick takes the stretch, looks at first, comes to the plate, and the pitch is low for a ball. 1-1.
You got to be careful with this Gilliam. He can switch off that bunt any time. He handles that bat real well, and he's liable to try to hit through that moving infield.
So it's a 1-1 count now as Maury Wills moves off at first base. Nobody down. 7-7 ball game. LeMay comes to the plate. Ball 2. 2-1. on the count, 2-1 to Gilliam, and Gilliam looks now to Leo Durocher. I believe Mike McCormick, the left-hander, throwing in the bullpen. Here's McCormick. Now another go to first by LeMay, not in time. Right-hander looks almost like Bob Garibaldi, but it's Gaylord Perry, I guess. Gaylord Perry and Mike McCormick. Here's the pitch to Gilliam. He takes ball 3 outside. 3-1. So LeMay in danger of walking Gilliam and putting runners at first and second here. Orsino goes out to talk to him. 3-1 count to Jim Gilliam. Runner at first, nobody out. LeMay having his problems getting the ball over the plate. There's the stretch for the 3-1. Ball 4, and Orsino is hopping there. Runners at first and second. Now, Duke Snyder was going to bat. He goes back to the dugout. Orsino motioning to the Giant dugout. That was a good pitch. And we'll see who comes on now to bat for Duke Snyder. Well, with runners at first and second, the Dodgers have all sorts of possibilities, of course. They can go for the sacrifice to move the runners along to second and third. For a fly ball or a squeeze bunt or anything could score, or a stolen base, as Maury Wills has stolen home before. Still, the Dodgers have not made a move. Snyder has taken off his batting helmet, so we'll have a batter for him. Waldolph's been delaying to see what manager Alvin Dark is going to do, if anything. Giants are getting down in that part of the batting order where the Dodgers can throw some power at them. Darrell Spencer will come out. So Darrell Spencer will bat here for Duke Snyder. Darrell with a batting mark of .236. And manager Alvin Dark, with a change made, is going to his bullpen again. And they still have Tim Harkness on the bench, a left-hand batter to the Dodgers. It looks like Gaylord Perry is going to be called in for the Giants. So this will be the 7th Giant pitcher. Runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the 9th. Gaylord Perry comes in, a right-hander to pitch, and Darrell Spencer goes back to the dugout for the Dodgers. This ball game now has broken the record, Harry, for a 9-inning contest. It was 4 minutes and 4 seconds, the Giants and the Braves, and we've now gone 4 hours and 4 minutes. I'll get it right soon. Now gone 4 hours and 7 minutes unofficially. And it's not over yet. So with first and second occupied and nobody down, young Gaylord Perry marches to the mound for the Giants. Darrell Spencer's gone back in the dugout. Now he comes back out on the on-deck circle. Dick LeMay leaves after giving up a walk to Jim Gilliam. So Boland walks Wills. LeMay walks Gilliam. And Gaylord Perry is out to do the pitching. 7-7 ball game in the bottom of the 9th. 2 runners on and nobody out. Possibility here that the umpires might ask for the lights to be turned on, as the shadows have just about completely covered the playing field. Orsino comes back behind the plate, tied at 7-7 in the bottom of the ninth. Maury Wills at second, Jim Gilliam at first, and nobody out. And Gaylord Perry comes in to do the firing for the Giants. Perry making his 13th trip. He's won 3 and lost 1. Has an earned run mark of 5.27.
Both these managers, Juan, certainly aren't afraid to risk the outcome of the game on the young shoulders of rookie pitchers. It's really right up to Gaylord Perry now, just as it was to young Jack Smith for the Dodgers a little earlier in this ballgame.
So Perry warms up and will have to pitch to Darrell Spencer with Tommy Davis in the on-deck circle. So certainly in this first year, we're happy to have had Chevron dealers and standard stations with us all year long, and I don't think they could have asked for a more exciting year to be associated with the Giant broadcast. Gone almost as far as you can go. The Giants won the first game. This one tied at 7-7, and Darrell Spencer moves in. The Giants figure that Spencer will be trying to bunt. Wells at second, Gilliam at first, nobody out. Gaylord Perry to pitch to Darrell Spencer, batting for Duke Snyder. Davenport started up at third. He'd like to anchor if he could to get the fourth at third base. Pagan trying to keep Wills close at second. And he's giving up that entire hole. Now Pagan moves over. A bunt back to the mound. Perry starts to go. He had him stand at third base and didn't throw. Gaylord Perry had him stand at third base and didn't throw. He threw to first. It's a shame. There was a play where the third baseman Davenport came charging towards the plate. That apparently confused Perry, who must have forgotten that that play was set up. The shortstop, Pagan, was over to cover third base. And when Perry picked the bunt up, he had a cinch play at third, but seeing Davenport, he must have forgotten that Pagan was over there covering. He had him dead at third base and didn't throw. He turned and looked. Pagan was there. It was a bunt right back to the mound. And then finally turned and threw to first base to get Spencer. Tommy Davis is up here, but I rather doubt if Tommy gets a chance to swing a bat. Ron Fairley in the on-deck circle. Now you got a situation, no right-hand batter up here. Ron Fairley, a left-hand batter in the on-deck circle, first base open. Gaylord Perry took a look and then did not throw. These are the kind of situations, Ron, that make veterans out of rookies in a hurry. And I believe we're going to have a pitching change right now. Mike McCormick is going to be called in. There's no doubt that Tommy Davis is going to be intentionally passed, which will allow McCormick to pitch to Ron Fairley. The Dodgers might risk a change for Fairley, although they've just about run out of manpower. Also, they have Norm Sherry still available. And then if they can get by Fairley, the Giants don't have a right-hander out there to pitch to Howard. Jim Duffalo is throwing in the bullpen now for the Giants. So McCormick becomes the 8th Giant pitcher. Mike McCormick walking on to become the 8th Giant pitcher. One out, runners at second and third for the Dodgers. Well, we might have tied a record for most pitchers used in a 9-inning ball game. I think it's either 8 or 9. And the Giants have used 8. Yeah, that was a particularly unfortunate development because the Giants had set up that play with Davenport charging in for the bunt. The idea being that if the ball were bunted by the mound, Davenport could still field well and throw to third. As Davenport broke for the plate, Pagan broke for third base. And unfortunately, young Carey was taken more by surprise, I guess, than even the Dodgers at the way the play developed. So Gaylord Perry elected to go to first with his throw. He got Spencer all right. But the Dodgers moved runners up to second and third. Mike McCormick has come on. He'll loosen up. Tommy Davis is the batter, but I'm just about rest assured that Tommy Davis won't be swinging a bat. First base open. So 2 walks in the inning and a sacrifice to put runners at second and third.
Carey taking a little red book of baseball to check on the record for pitchers used in the ball game. The Giants now with their 8th pitcher in there. The Dodgers have used 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers. 7-7 ball game in the bottom of the 9th. Dodgers do not have a hit in this inning, but they have Gilliam at second and Maury Wills at third. In a situation where the Giants will have to play their outfield shallow when they first batter that they're going to let swing comes up there. They have to play shallow enough so they can cut off a line drive base hit, and there's no sense in playing deep because the runner could tag and score on a deep fly ball anyway. So Tommy Davis up here, but Tommy won't get to swing the bat. As McCormick will put him on at first base. The fans will boo this as soon as they see the Giants walking. There's ball one outside. There's ball 2. Ball 3. And they'll soon be loaded up. Ball 4. So Davis goes to first base. The base is loaded by walks, and Ron Fairley, who singled his last time up, is the batter. Giants will have to play the outfield shallow, play the infield in, with 1 out, and the winning run at third base. And left-hander Mike McCormick to face left-hander Ron Fairley. Tommy Davis at first, Gilliam at second, Maury Wills at third, and of course the important one is Maury Wills at third base. This is the time you'd like to see a one-hopper back to the mound. Now time called as McCormick started to pitch. Maury Wills wants to tie a shoelace, and John Orsino takes that opportunity to run out and talk to McCormick. Fairley. Up here now, the Giant infield in, the outfield shallow. Maury Wills at third, Jim Gilliam at second. McCormick looking in for the sign for the first pitch to Fairley. There's the stretch by McCormick. And the pitch. Strike call, the fastball in there, 0-1. Nothing in 1 count to Ron Fairley. McCormick looks the runner at third. Maury Wills looking in now for the sign. McCormick pitching from a stretch position to try to keep Wills close to third. Here's the pitch to Fairley. Strike 2 call, the curveball in. 0-2 to Ron Fairley. To Fairley. 1 out, bases loaded. McCormick studying the side now for Orsino. Mike taking his stretch. Look at third. Here's the pitch. A fly ball to short center. Mays makes the catch. Here comes Wells to the plate. Here comes the throw. And it's not in front. Questioning John Conlon whether the runner left third too